and welcome to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. Today I'm going to sort out some seedlings which I have totally abandoned for ages. So I thought I would show you what they're looking like, because life just gets in the way sometimes, and even though we try our best, things just don't work out. So let me show you these seedlings, and then we've got some things that hopefully I will be able to plant out and rescue, but others will just have to go in the compost. So let's have a look at my disaster. I've got a variety of different seedlings on the go here. These are some lettuce which I was hoping to plant in after the lettuces I had growing, but these have put up a stalk, so they can go straight into the compost. There's no rescuing them. These are pansy seedlings which I sowed August, I think, and I just haven't got around to potting these on. So I will pot them on because pansies are quite resilient. They will be fine. This is land cress. Well, I don't even know where to begin with this, so that's going in the compost as well. Sorry, lamb's cress, but I don't know if there's any point in rescuing that. Some of it does look quite good though. Okay, I might give it a reprieve. We have pricked out all these apart from this lettuce here, which is iceberg, but that's going to be no good for overwinter, so that can go in the compost. I've got spinach here, multi-sowed spinach, which is actually looking okay. I think I can plant that out. The same with this beetroot. It is looking leggy, but I'll just plant it deep. It should be okay. And then if we come over to here, this is such a sort of tangle really. I've got Swiss chard here, which I think will be fine. I just need to separate it. It's multi-sowed, and I was going to grow it, you know, as multi-sowed, so the leaves would stay small. But I think I've got quite a lot of gaps around the place, so I think I could do with like a big amount of it now. So I might just separate that, grow it on for a bit. We've got this fennel here. I don't know if there's any point in growing this on. I'm not very good with fennel, but we might as well give it a go. Here are some red cabbage seedlings. They will be all right, I think. They look okay. I shall plant them on. What's this? Kohlrabi. Hardly any kohlrabi germinated. I had terrible trouble with pak choi and kohlrabi. This bit here, so the kohlrabi is the purple, the pak choi is the white, but they are so leggy. They're so leggy, I don't know if there's any point in doing anything with them. And then the radishes, I think they'll be all right. I'll pop them in the ground anyway. If they do something, they do something. And if they don't, they don't. And then I have a selection of brassicas here. Again, I think they are okay. Although that does look like it's quite elongated, doesn't it? But what are these? Hang on. I've got the tub the wrong way round. That would help, wouldn't it? So let me see here. I've got cauliflower. So these are no, that's from over there. These ones here are cauliflower. Well, I might as well plant them. We can always use the leaves in the spring if nothing happens. This is greyhound cabbage, so I think they might be okay. I'm going to plant them. And this is broccoli, and again I think that might be okay. I'm going to plant it and see. And then we've got some extra lettuces which again have bolted, so they can go in the compost. So I'm going to start off with my brassicas first. I've got 4 collies and 4 cabbages to go out. As you saw, they're not looking in the best shape, but I'm just going to plant them really deep, and if nothing else, then we get a load of spring greens from them, then that's all to be good. So this bed is at a top up of compost from the compost heap. I'm then going to lime it and just thoroughly water it in, and that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to add any other nutrients. There should be enough nutrients from the compost heap. This is a collie. It's not looking very good. I'm going to go for collies like in a diamond shape and then cabbages on either end. I think that will look nice when it's growing. So I'm just going to top up the level of this bed now and then plant my broccoli in here. I've got 9 broccoli to go in here. So I'll just smooth out this, plant the broccoli, and I'll bring you back when I'm done. So here's the brassicas all planted out. It never fails to surprise me how as soon as you plant a plant out or pot it on, it seems to fill the space it's gone into straight away. So those plants now, which looked awful earlier in the little cell trays, are now looking not so bad. And the cabbages are looking okay too. They're not looking too bad, but the cauliflowers are really tiny. I will be surprised if they make it through because well, they're just slug fodder, aren't they? Slugs will make a beeline for them, I'm sure. So maybe we'll just end up with cabbages in each corner, but that's good because that gives me something to play with in the middle. The next job I was wanting to do was to plant out my radishes, and I wanted to interplant them with my garlic. So I have popped the garlic into the holes there. If I could just, you could just see the little, well, I might as well show you. You can just see that I've planted that garlic in there, and I just used the middle points to start intercropping the radish. The idea of this is that next season, when the garlic is happily growing, hopefully, where the radish are now, I might do what I did this year, which was put my tomato plants in the middle of each garlic station so that they got going before the season finished. But it's raining now, so I'm going to crack on and get this bed done. The Swede harvest for this year, and the last of the red cabbage that I've got growing. I need to find the heaviest one and send a photo to Danny from the Grapevine Garden, as he's running a competition, but I don't think I'll be winning any prizes for these. But actually these are the best Swedes I have ever grown, so hopefully they won't be woody, and I can chop some of them up and use them over the winter, or you know, whenever I need to. the cauliflower that I harvested. It's looking a bit on the brown side. That's where the sun has got to it, I think, anyway, but I'm not sure if I'm actually going to eat this. It doesn't look very appetizing. I might cook one up and see what it tastes like. I do remember cooking it before, like when it was brown, and it just tasted very cauliflowery, if that makes sense. So it wasn't really all that nice, but I might cook one up and see. And then I've got a decent sized cabbage there, and then these are just cabbage leaves that never hardened up. So that's what I got from that bed I just harvested and replanted with the broad beans. So I've potted on and planted out as much as I can. The only thing left to do is this beetroot, and that's going to go into my greenhouse. I have sowed, it might be a bit late in the season, but I've sowed some cauliflowers, cabbages, pak choy and Swiss chard here, which I plan to grow in my greenhouse. And the other seedlings which I've potted on are in here. So there's some pak choy, some Swiss chard there. This one is all pak choy. This one is red cabbage. These are pansies. Those are Swiss chard. And then these are some seedlings, which, if my camera will go back the way it's meant to, which I sowed about 3 days ago, and some of them are already beginning to come through. So that's encouraging. So that's that job done. My next job today is to tidy up this greenhouse, because there are some things that have gone over. Some marigolds I will plant outside. I've got some aubergines to harvest in here. I've got some peppers to harvest there. I've still got some tomatoes to harvest. But what I want to do, I want to plant the rest of that beetroot. Well, not the rest of the beetroot, but the beetroot that I was growing. I think I'm going to try growing it inside over the winter. Because when I've grown beetroot outside before over winter, it's gone woody and not very nice the following season. So I want to have a little tidy up in this bed, harvest all the tomatoes. I will leave the tomatoes in for the time being. I don't see any need to take them out. There's still some green on them and no sign of blight. So yeah, let's have a little tidy up in here. I'll show you what it's looking like once I've done. I've had a real good clean out. I've planted my beetroot. I've put down fresh compost, a top layer of fresh compost. I've kept as many of the tomato plants as I could in the bed, and then everything else I removed apart from the aubergines, which I have just put up here just for the time being to see how well they do. It's still quite warm in here. We're having a warm October at the moment. So yeah, that's them done. This was what I managed to harvest from the greenhouse. So there's some Maman tomatoes there. Those are the last of the peppers for this year. Didn't have a very good year for peppers. Those tomatoes are the sweet million, they're still going lovely. And there's the aubergines, and then there's some basil that I need to dehydrate. So that's it from me for today. I'm very pleased with what I've got done around the garden. I'm pleased to have sorted out those plug plants and pot some on and pot some things out, and also plant my garlic and broad beans. I'm pleased to have got that done, and I'm really pleased to have tidied up this greenhouse, which will hopefully be ready for some winter brassicas if the plants grow enough, if the seeds grow enough. So that's it from me for today. Thank you very much, and all I can say about the work around the garden is lovely job, and take care everybody.